News 4 San Antonio at 5. We're here for you.
The treatment of migrants at the Freeman Expo Hall under the spotlight as the governor leads the charge to shut it down. A local congressman takes his own tour.
And what went wrong? That's the question many have after February's winter storm. The emails that were sent out ahead of the freeze and what was discussed during a meeting today.
And mourning a bicyclist killed by a suspected drunk driver. What cycling advocates are calling for to better protect them on city streets.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Simone Alba.
And I'm Robert Price. Congressman Joaquin Castro just finished touring the Freeman Expo Hall. His visit comes as Governor Greg Abbott is calling for the shelter to be shut down amid those allegations of sexual abuse and mistreatment of the migrant children inside.
Let's get to News 4 San Antonio's Amanda Henderson joining us live at the Freeman. She just finished speaking with the congressman. Amanda, what can you tell us?
Simone, I can tell you that the representative says he saw none of the allegations that were made by Governor Greg Abbott just 2 days ago. This is actually the second tour the representative has taken inside of the Freeman to see the children. And this time he wasn't alone. There were several state representatives from Houston, Dallas, even here locally in San Antonio, who all made the trip to go inside to see exactly what is going on inside of the Freeman Expo Hall. Again, remember those claims of sexual abuse and misconduct made by Governor Greg Abbott just 2 days ago, claims the White House is even weighing in on now. Take a listen to what they said.
We have no basis for his call to shut down the San Antonio Freeman Coliseum as an intake site, but we will, of course, we take these allegations seriously, and they will be investigated.
Coming up in just about an hour at News 4 at 6, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the representative said, what Representative Castro said about the allegations, and why sexual abuse, while it needs to be investigated seriously, is not something to ever play politics with. We'll toss it back to you.
All right, thanks for bringing us up to speed, Amanda. We do continue our team coverage on the border crisis. Today, we hear from two young men who were released from the migrant shelter at the Freeman Expo Hall yesterday. Our Joe Galley is here for you with their story and why they made this journey to come to the United States.
Josue and Eric both turned 18 this week. That's why they had to leave the shelter at the Freeman Coliseum. Health and Human Services say they've released a few 18-year-olds over the past few days, but they wouldn't give me an exact number. The boys shared stories of what it was like to travel from Guatemala and El Salvador. Thankfully, they were never victims of violence. Antonio Fernandez, the CEO of Catholic Charities, was their translator.
They actually get a guide in each different city, and they have to pay them, and if they don't pay them, then they just tell them you need to get in this bus, or you need to get in the other bus.
The boys say they were treated well at the shelter. They were given new clothes and had more space than at the facility in El Paso. Fernandez spent a lot of time with these boys at the Freeman Coliseum and also with some of the younger children.
I have not seen any abuse. I haven't seen anything negative with the kids. The only thing that I have seen negative with the kids is that they are bored. They want to play soccer, they want to play cards.
To pay for the trip, the boys' families put their homes in their native countries up for collateral with traffickers.
If they are deported, then they will go back to their countries and they will have problems because both of them will be in debt to pay for this trip.
Catholic Charities is looking for more volunteers, particularly people who are bilingual and have experience working with children, such as teachers or caseworkers. We have a link on how you can register up on our website, news4sanantonio.com. Back to you.
Melissa Vega at the live desk. We are following some breaking news for you on an ongoing FBI investigation where we are learning tonight several arrests were made at a home in Stone Oak. We have a picture from that scene. The fire department and SAPD were there as well at the home on Battle Oak. This is near Huebner Road. The FBI saying several arrests were made. However, at this time, we don't know how many people were arrested or their exact charges, but we do know the FBI was searching the home back in August of last year, so about 8 months ago. This is a picture from that day back on August 11th. Witnesses were told by the FBI that this was related to a fraud case. Now, again, we're still waiting to learn more. We're told the identities of the people arrested and the charges will more than likely be available on Monday. Of course, we'll keep you posted. Simone?
All right, Melissa, thank you. Right now, we continue to follow the trial in the Sutherland Springs shooting. Today's witness testifying that Devin Kelly applied for a firearm and the FBI's background check is stated to proceed with sale. Evidence showed Kelly lied on other background paperwork, noting he answered no to questions on whether he had been convicted of crimes. Now, families of the victims argue if the Air Force would have submitted his conviction, the background check would have shown that and therefore wouldn't have been able to purchase a gun.
For your health, we're taking a look at the latest numbers in the fight against COVID-19. Across the country, deaths continue to go down. They've dropped 20%, with the 7-day average sitting just north of 700. At the same time, case numbers and hospitalizations are going up. Right now, we're averaging 64,000 new cases and 5,300 new hospital patients every day. Some good news on the vaccine front. We continue to average about 3 million vaccinations every day. So far, 112 million Americans have received at least one dose. 66 million are fully vaccinated.
All right, speaking of vaccinations, let's take a look at the vaccination numbers here in our area. This is where we stand. According to the Texas Department of State Health Services, right now 13.6 million shots have gone into arms all across Texas. Here in Bexar County, nearly 37% of the population 16 and older has received at least one dose. About 22.7% are fully vaccinated.
As more Americans get the vaccine, the big question becomes, when will we reach herd immunity? Dr. Anthony Fauci says we can't know that for sure until 70 to 85% of the population is vaccinated.
We need to get away from waiting from this mystical, elusive number and just say to get as many people as we possibly can get vaccinated as quickly as possible.
Dr. Fauci says the more people that get vaccinated, the fewer hospitalizations and deaths we will see, bringing us closer to a turning point in the pandemic.
New at 5, 1,600 pages of internal city emails released to News 4 just in the last 24 hours, detailing the harrowing days and nights of the February freeze. In response to the what went wrong questions, the city formed the Committee on Emergency Preparedness, and they've been meeting ever since. News 4 troubleshooter April Molina joining us live with the details from these memos and today's meeting.
Simone, in the days leading up to Texas' unprecedented winter storm, emails began pouring into the mayor's office, many about preparation. But for all that was communicated in advance of the freeze, thousands of you were left in the dark. One email from a desperate resident. Mayor, the rolling power outages are fine if they let the power stay on for longer. Please do something. And another, why are we so ill-equipped in this state?
Clearly, when you look at the end result, many people in the public didn't have the information they needed, and we need to figure out why.
The Committee on Emergency Preparedness sent out questions to SAWS, CPS Energy, and the city to find out just that. The responses have begun coming in, but they're under review for now. The majority of the meeting spent discussing how much would be made available on the website and in what format. A pressing question Committee Chair Reed Williams says still needs to be answered.
We've got to answer the question that many people have. Did my part of the city, get abused more than another part of the city? And it was their favoritism played.
In the internal emails released late Thursday, one homeowner wrote, "Unfortunately, I live on the poor side of town, and I feel like this side of town is being let down and not being taken care of." Then another resident writing, "For them to target the same neighborhoods over and over again is criminal." The troubleshooters requested the areas with outages immediately following the storm, not just by zip code, but on a map. We were denied and told it could impact security. But months later, just today, CPS released the numbers of customers affected, broken down by zip code. If you'd like to see how many customers in your area were without power during the storm, we have that information on our website, news4sa.com. Chris?
Well, April, it is blistering hot to finish off the week. Now, the temperature in San Antonio is 93, but it's still going up in Bexar County. Look at just to the west. Hondo is 100 degrees right now. Cotulla, 104, and out to Del Rio, it's a 102. More of a dry heat, though, building in. And relief is on the way. Cold front now working through Lubbock, so that's the air that's coming in for tomorrow. Your weekend looks a lot nicer with the temperatures. I do want to point out, up 35, you have travel plans this evening north of Austin. This is the dry line right here. This is severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Looks like a couple of big supercell storms are ready to take shape here north from Austin. Not expecting much in our area, but we'll talk about rain chances and cooler weather in your 4-zone weather coming up. Robert?
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris. The president is asking for $1 trillion in discretionary spending. Where he wants that money to go next year, still ahead.
Plus, it's day 10 of Derek Chauvin's murder trial. Why a drug overdose was ruled out as a likely cause of George Floyd's death. Next.
You're watching News 4